Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I'm going to be trying to post different kind of videos on here. So if you guys do have any ideas, go ahead and comment down below. Or you can DM me on Instagram. But either way, let's get right into this video. As you guys can tell by the video, I'm going to be talking about a situation in my life. So if you guys could relate, I would hope so. If it helps you, great. But yeah, if you want to hear my story, my situation, go ahead and continue to watch. Sorry about that, guys. I had to check on my baby because she's napping. But yeah, as I was saying, it all started one day when I felt as if my heart was racing, and then I felt like I couldn't breathe, and things just escalated. They just escalated higher and higher to the point where I felt like I needed to call 911 because I felt like I was gonna not be able to breathe and I was gonna have to be hospitalized. All kinds of thoughts were going on in my head. So I just tried to sidetrack myself and start doing something else around the house to take my mind off of the thoughts. So I got past it. It went away. The feeling went away. Then months later, and mind you, like I said in the beginning of this video, I did go through a very bad situation in my life that was very traumatic and traumatizing. So I do know that that is the cause of all this. So the next time it happened, it was the same thing. I remember I was at my little brother's basketball game, and I just kept feeling like this really tense feeling in my body. I kept feeling like a tense in my stomach, like worse than butterflies, like just like a knot. And all these thoughts started going through my mind. It was like I was starting to think like, what if I would have to go to the hospital? What if something happens to me? Like all these bad thoughts. So the more I thought about these thoughts, the more my heart started to race. So I tried to brush it off. And then when we left, I got in the car and I tried to stay calm, and I was with my mom, and then it just like, I just freaked out. I just started telling my mom like, I can't breathe, and I just started crying. I was just crying, telling her I can't breathe, just take me to the hospital, just take me to the hospital. And my mom was just telling me like, just breathe in and out of your nose, like just take a deep breath. So I did, and like I said, I was crying. So when we got home, she just hugged me and she was just telling me like that you're okay, you're gonna be okay, nothing's wrong with you. And I didn't even know at the time that I was dealing with a panic attack. So thank God that my mom stayed strong and she didn't freak out, so she was able to calm me down. So after this happened, I stayed with that knot in my stomach for like 2 or 3 days straight. 2 or 3 days straight, guys. I was just feeling very anxious. That's what it was, like an anxious feeling. And then it went away, of course, and then another maybe 1 or 2 months went by and another attack came, to where I started feeling the same way, like I couldn't breathe. I started feeling like I was going to be hospitalized, like, and my family wasn't going to be able to do nothing to help me, like that the hospital was basically just gonna keep me there and I was gonna be hospitalized. Like I was making myself freak out in my head, not realizing that it was all a mind game. And so this time I did go to the hospital because I had asthma too at the time. So I used to think I was having an asthma attack. I used to think like, I can't breathe, the inhaler's not gonna work. So I went to the hospital. They did a breathing treatment, and the nurse was just, she did like the EKGs all over my body, and I didn't even realize, but she was talking to me, like asking me different questions. And in the end of that, she told me that she realized every time she'll talk to me, my heart rate will go down, but then when I would be quiet, my heart rate started going up, because she was saying she knew that it was like an anxiety attack or a panic attack because I was freaking myself out. But when my mind was somewhere else, I wasn't panicking. So they let me go. They did give me an anxiety medication, but I refused to take it. I didn't want to take any medication. I don't like taking medication, so I chose not to take the medication, just go on with life and just hoping it didn't happen again. But of course it did. It happened again months later. We'll say about 3 to 5 months later, it happened again. There would be moments where it would happen all the time. It would be split up. Honestly, guys, it's the ugliest feeling I've ever felt. Like, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. It's so uncontrollable, and that's the part that makes it so scary, is because you can't control yourself. Like, you feel like, I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. That's what I would think. I would think I was gonna have a heart attack, but I was only like 23, 24 years old. Like, who, I mean, come on, that's rare. But I was freaking myself out because the situation that I was in that caused all this, it was in a situation to where I was trapped. So anytime I would feel like I was trapped in a situation helplessly, it freaked me out. So if I thought about going to the hospital, I thought I wasn't going to have no choice to leave if I chose to, so it'll freak me out. So once again, it happened again. And then as time, honestly, this happened over the matter of 2.5 years. Sometimes bad, sometimes it would just come and go. But then I started noticing when it would come, I would get this tingly feeling from like my toes all the way up to my body. And then like once it'll be done like that, my heart would just start racing. And then from there, I'll just freak out. I'll tell my boyfriend, like, I can't breathe, like, and he'll be like, just calm down, you're breathing, like, breathe in your nose, breathe out your mouth, like, and I'll do it. Sometimes it would work or it wouldn't work. And it's kind of sad because I know that I was probably freaking everybody else out too, but they were trying to stay strong for me and make me realize that everything was okay, like I was okay, because none of us have ever dealt with anything like this to know what to do. So then I started to realize that the number one thing that you need to do if you deal with this is find your trigger. What is triggering you to cause this panic attack or anxiety attack? Is it stress? Is it somebody around you maybe? Is it something that happened in your past? Whatever it may be, you need to find that trigger. And I started to realize my trigger was me thinking I'm not going to be able to breathe, or like I said, being in a helpless situation where I felt nobody was going to be able to help. It'll just cause bad anxiety. So as time went on, I started to just, like I said, I refused to take medication, so I just started to try to find different things to do. I did go to a therapist, and she started off by asking me what has happened in my life, and she told me that she wanted to talk about the whole situation from the beginning to the end so that I could get it off my chest and then get past it. So basically, speak about it now and then just leave it behind me, which I couldn't do. Like, I talked to her about it. I cried in therapy talking about the situation, but I still would talk about it to my boyfriend. Like, mainly my boyfriend was the one that I opened up to the most, where I would tell him things that happened when I was in that situation, or like bad things, good things, sad days, good days, like everything I went through, I would tell him. So I started to realize the trigger, and I would just try to calm myself down. When I would feel it coming upon me, I would just try to calm down. So then I started to eventually realize that I was breathing. I started thinking about all the past times that I had these anxiety attacks, and I started to think to myself, you didn't die last time. Nothing happened to you. You didn't go to the hospital. The ambulance didn't come. I just started telling myself all these things in my head, and it would just like calm me down. It'll calm me down. And honestly, it is very stressful, guys. Like, especially having to go back and forth in your own mind that you're not okay, you're okay, you're not okay, you're okay. It's horrible. Like, it is so horrible. I really wouldn't want nobody to go through this. Like I said, if you've been through it, if you're going through it, just try to find your trigger point and try to get yourself back to realizing that nothing's wrong. So then I honestly went to the hospital about 4 or 5 times for the same situation, and they would give me breathing treatments because I did have asthma, but they would check my breathing rate and I was perfectly fine. Nothing was ever wrong with me, besides the fact that I was probably rising my stress levels sky high because I was stressing myself out. So then like I said, I started realizing my trigger point. So at this time when all this was happening, I wasn't working. I would go to school online, so I was basically home all day, just freaking my mind out. So eventually I got a job, I started going to school, and I started noticing that positive things in my life kept my mind positive. So I wasn't beating myself up in my head. I just started going forward with life and trying to leave everything behind me. So the more busy I stayed, the less anxiety and panic attacks I had. I would just, one of the worst things for me to do would be drive alone, because I started feeling helpless, as if I was getting an accident, if my car will break down. All these things just scared me, and I guess it's normal for a girl to worry about things like that, but not to the extent that I would worry about it. I would worry about it really bad, and it wasn't even happening. It never happened. So then now I have my daughter. She's 1 year old, and ever since I had her, I have not had no episode of anxiety and panic attack. I've had one maybe when she was like 3 months, not even 3 months, maybe like 2 months. I had a really bad one because I started telling my boyfriend, like, I can't breathe, like, what if the ambulance come, like, I'm gonna have to leave my baby here, I don't want to leave her alone. And I just started crying and crying. I couldn't stop crying, and he was like, look at me, he's like, you're breathing, just breathe, you're breathing. And then I just started telling myself, like, okay, if you don't calm down and you do go to the hospital, then you are gonna leave your baby, so just calm down and nothing's gonna happen. So I did that. I calmed down and everything was normal. So that goes to show that it is all a mind game in your head. Like, it's all a mind game. You tell yourself freak out, you're gonna freak out. You tell yourself you're okay, calm down, you're okay. The mind is so powerful, you guys. So now, like, I never used to want to stay home alone. I never used to want to drive alone. Like, now I'm like, I have my daughter, so there's no room for me to have an anxiety or panic attack, because guess what, if I have an anxiety attack, who's gonna take care of my baby when nobody's around? So with that being said, I never let myself freak out, and I've came to realize that obviously it's in my head. If I'm stopping myself now from freaking out, then it was never real. It was just in my head. It's crazy, guys. Honestly, if any of you are going through this, like, I hope that this advice can help you a little bit. Realize, like, that just relax. When you're in those situations, just relax, take a deep breath. Always focus on something else. Focus on something else. Start counting. Start a lot of therapy routines that would help is like something around you. Focus on it. Describe it in your mind. What you're touching, just describe it. I know it sounds kind of funny, guys, but it gets your mind off of the thoughts of what's going on in your head. Like right now I'm sitting on my couch, and if I was freaking out, I'll just be like, the couch, it's soft, it's gray, there's a pink pillow right here, different things. And then your mind's gonna go off of those thoughts that you were having that were triggering the anxiety or the panic attacks. And that's what I did. I would do that here and there, but the whole mind thing is what worked the best for me. And then my daughter, honestly, God blessed me with a daughter, and he knew when he gave me my daughter that anxiety was going to be healed, because I always felt like I was never going to be healed of anxiety, you guys. I always felt so hopeless and helpless, like nobody could ever help me when I was in that situation. Like it used to be so scary, guys, like so scary and so uncontrollable. Like, I started getting so mad at myself. Like, I would cry in the middle of anxiety attack out of frustration because I couldn't stop what was going on in my body, like the helplessness. I would get so mad and I would just cry. I would cry to my mom, or I would cry to my boyfriend. Like, it's just frustrating because I can't make the situation go away. Like, I started beating myself up, saying I was weak, saying like I felt like I was different. All these things wouldn't make the anxiety better. It was making it worse. And it's not your fault. If you're going through this situation, it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. You may have not even been through a traumatic situation like me. You may just have anxiety. Maybe you're stressing too much. You're working your body up. Whatever it is, guys, just take it easy and just know that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're not different. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're different, because you're not different. It's just a situation that you're going through. If you need medication, take medication. If that's what helps you, take medication. As for me, I just didn't want to take medication because I personally felt like it was going to alter my mind. So I was already freaking out thinking about taking the medicine. So I didn't want to take medication. I didn't. But if it helps you, do it. If that's what you feel is going to help you. If you feel like you don't know, try it. See how it works. It may work. It may not. But yeah, guys, like I said, if you're going through this, just know that you're going to be okay. You're not different. And if anybody is going through this that's seen this, or if you're healed, thank God that you're healed like me. But I hope that somebody got something out of this video today. I just felt the need to come on here and talk about this. I've been having this on my mind for a while now to record this video, but I didn't know how I was going to feel about it either. I didn't know if it was maybe going to trigger something in me, because like I said, the smallest things can do that. But it didn't. It feels good because I know that I may help somebody out there realize that they're going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen, especially with everything that's going on in this world. Knowing that people are dying from this sickness, it can trigger something in your body, guys. It could trigger something in your mind, or maybe even losing somebody throughout these hard times. Anything like that can trigger these anxiety, panic attacks, or depression, whatever it may be. I hope you guys got something out of this. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And once again, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.